Okay, so part 3, finally, of Interview with the Vampire. So, I guess just like random facts. So, Interview with the Vampire was directed by Neil Jordan, and Neil Jordan, I don't know if you noticed, but certain directors like to use, once they find a composer they like, or they find actors they like, they tend to reuse them. So, you'll notice that Stephen Ray is in this movie, and if you watch other Neil Jordan movies, Stephen Ray is in a lot of his movies, because they like to, like, directors will find actors they like to work with, and they'll just keep working with them. They find composers they like and just keep composing with them. I'm not sure if he worked with this composer again, but this composer's name is Elliot Goldenthal, and you will know him because he was very, very big in the 90s, and he's still doing stuff now, but like especially then, because he did the soundtrack for Batman Forever. He did the soundtrack for Heat, and I remember, if you don't know, Heat is this really kind of big movie that it's really, really important because it's the first time that Al Pacino and Robert De Niro ever worked together. Like, people just were like, they're these two titans, when are they going to work together? And it's the first time they ever worked together, and they have only 2 scenes together, I think, in that whole movie, and one of them is a criminal, one of them is the cop, and that they have 2 pivotal scenes in that movie, but the score is composed by Elliot Goldenthal. Same thing with Batman Forever, and you can kind of tell Elliot Goldenthal's work because you can hear he really likes brass instruments, and you can hear this kind of sound in his soundtracks. Like, whenever there's tension, like big tension, like in this movie, Louis always setting fire to things. So whenever he starts setting fire to things, you can hear the horns blaring, and I just think that's really cool. Also, another interesting fact about this movie is that Christian Slater, my personal fave, I love him so much, I should do a whole video on him. He plays the interviewer, right? It's called Interview with the Vampire. He's interviewing Louis. He was not initially cast in this movie. He took this role out of respect to River Phoenix, because River Phoenix was initially cast as the interviewer in this movie. But unfortunately, before filming, River Phoenix died on Halloween, I believe, in 1993. And so Christian Slater took this role out of tribute to him, and he donated his salary to all of River's favorite animal charities, because River was a vegan before veganism was like a big thing, and he was a big animal lover. So he donated his entire salary to all of River's favorite animal charities. Ironically, River also wanted to do The Crow, which is what Brandon Lee was in earlier that year, and died of a bullet wound. So it's kind of strange that he wanted to be in that movie and he didn't end up getting it, but he ended up dying later on that year anyway. So it's kind of weird. It's a very Final Destination-y, but yeah, that's just some odd trivia from Interview with the Vampire.